Adam 52, updating your call.
Let me go run one up Peterson.
Okay.
I think that's showing that.
These cases are lovely.
Oh, we're showing after that. There's some Garrett associated with 41 call.
Copy, William.
So there's the who is.
Okay.
Sort of the background on those.
All right.
And then it came from, and then back behind each is just a history of it.
Okay.
And the ones in question, I think, are the ones that are highlighted.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm reviewing all of this stuff
All right.
to make sure. Here, this is, and I want to make sure.
This is, okay. The one that appears there, which according to Chris, he believes is either accessing through cellular, or he said sometimes if there is a master IP in the household, it can scramble and create other ones.
Yep. So that was that.
Okay.
Then
I'm Karen, by the way.
Steve Lawrence, I'm sorry.
All right.
Greg Cookman.
I know, Greg.
I picked a good
He's doing a ride-along.
Yeah, I guess you did.
So,
The thing that I think we identified that's key is the marriage between the IP address and the devices. And that's where the question really is, because in some cases it could have happened that this one student went over to another student's house and just hopped on their Wi-Fi.
Right.
But in one case, I had one of the parents tell me that their student afternoon of the 19th. This one
Right.
occurred on the
22nd?
Sunday at 11:30 at night. What Sunday? Oh,
22.
I don't know. That's what Matt told me.
No, it is 11.
11:30,
You're right.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Somebody else worked 10:30.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
And the one that happened that the student said they did jump on the Wi-Fi is likely because they're using the same device, even though
Those devices probably ID back to the household
Right,
for
they were used.
Arahe. However, that, no, we weren't over there at 10:30, 11:30 at night accessing our son's infinite
That's what Mom
campus.
verbally told me. Because when I spoke with Mom, you know, I was surprised because she wasn't, I expected her to have a stronger reaction. Her biggest concern was how I was going to find out who did it. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll see what I can find out. The only thing I'm really going to be able to find out for sure this weekend, hopefully, is a definitive answer from all people. You know, I know you guys did your due diligence. I have to do mine. And I'll recontact all parties involved. And
make sure I explain this right, if I did explain this right. These numbers were derived out of the student directory.
Yes.
Which was active, but now is not active, right?
Right. Started looking at IP addresses that were overlapping, and then that's when he concluded that those were the only three, because we were trying to figure out where there might have been when this issue came up at a board meeting.
And that was I showed him Dwayne Manzi's.
Yeah, and that's largely because Dwayne told us he had a conversation, and Dwayne did follow up with me with another email that described the conversation in greater detail. Because the administrator's birthdays, but that's not true. We don't use
No, we
birthdays.
don't.
So.
no, it's always password 01. Come on, you know.
So that's kind of what led us to worry that maybe someone was testing out the system. So.
Right.
And our goal is really just to do our due diligence to demonstrate that we have followed up and made sure that when we found an anomaly with regard to data,
actually, no, it's on this.
Okay.
So.
I think that, like I said, I started out with is he pointed out the concern that it could be hacked.
Stated
then
that
when
he
we
could do it.
to insinuate that he would be doing it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, so you know.
Then we find out his is the one that ties to.
Right. Well, we'll see where it leads. All right.
Yeah.
Here's my card on the back of the case number, as always.
All right.
If you need another one of my cards.
All right. Yeah, I was going to say I've got a collection. I think I got a full house now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
There's a story here.
No, I've been working
We've known
with
each other for
since you were at the middle school.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, like I said, I've been here 13 years. I know a lot of people.
we've hung out on a few things.
Yeah.
And talked to a few kids.
Yeah. So.
You were a teacher when I went to school here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I was the AP.
Run into him every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's down at Fountain.
Is he still down there?
Yeah, he seems to be doing all right. I mean, he went to prom and everything like that and whatnot. I see. I get roped into going with her. So,
she gets to bring a +1.
yeah. So, yeah, it's so much fun. So I see him. I run into him at like Safeway every once in a while down at Fountain or something like that. And so he last I saw him, it's been probably a couple of years, but he seemed to be doing all right. I think he was going to college and stuff like that. So
he was a great kid.
Yeah.
Great kid. I was always hoping the best for him.
Yeah. So.
All right,
But you went to Creekside, right?
No, I went to Lewis Palmer Middle
Did you go to
School,
middle school?
and then graduated LP in 01.
01. Oh, okay, so you were the class of 01.
I was 01.
So you were, but I didn't think I had you as a kid, though.
Never mind.
I don't think I had you.
I don't remember most
I
of
think
mine.
you had Barnett.
It is possible. I think
Yeah.
that's right. Actually, yes.
Because both Jen and you both had Barnett.
Yeah.
And then I had Jen in Colorado history. I know, I remember these
He's
weird.
got a story for everyone.
Well,
And who?
it's good that we have
yeah.
folks who've been in the
I
district
know.
this long.
He's who I come to when I need to say,
Give me
okay,
the
what's the
background on that.
relationship between this person and this person and this person? He's like, oh, yeah, well, you know, he was in
Oh yeah.
Jennifer was naming off all the teachers that are still here from the on vacation, the ones that are still here from when we went to school.
Yeah.
It's amazing, it's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is good.
Lewis Palmer High School has got a lot of folk left. They've been here for a long time.
Wow.
The middle school is retiring out. Slowly, it's turning over.
Yeah,
In the next
we're
5,
seeing them with turnover.
yeah, in the next 8 years, they'll all be gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kilmer's
Just
kind of
that
in that
age,
same
yeah.
I
road.
guess so.
Yeah, Kilmer's kind of in that same place too.
Yeah. And then Lewis Palmer High School. Middle school, then the high school, then Gilmer.
Makes me feel old.
Not all
But
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know,
You graduated in 2001, I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've done way too much for a 33-year-old.
Too much. Well, my daughters went to the same high school I went to, but I graduated in '77, and they were much later. But when I started asking them, because they're 30 and 25, and when I asked them, is so-and-so there, so-and-so there? Oh my God, Mom, they've either died or retired long ago.
Well,
I'm like, thanks a lot.
I told you what my calculus teacher said when we ran into him in Fargo's. He was my calculus teacher in
There's
Allison.
one one-on-one type deal.
He goes, Foster, good to see you.
There's
Smith,
one last fall, Edward
you married
Allen,
him?
Robertson, Ocean Harbor.
That's right, you told me this story.
You're much younger than he is.
Oh, man.
Oh, Daniels, that hurt.
Yeah.
That just right through that.
Oh, that's fine.
That is
All right,
awesome.
well, you guys for
All right.
letting me work.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, pleasure to meet you.
Appreciate it.
All right, I'll get out your hair.
All right.
I'll,
Sorry it wasn't more organized. I was
Oh, no,
trying to
it's perfectly fine, I get it.
putting it together to try to tell a cogent story here, because this stuff gets really complex very
It does.
quickly.
It does, and I know a little bit more than the average bear, but not that much, so,
Well, yeah, and our tech guy, Chris,
yeah.
he was like, oh, yeah, look, this guy accessed it from, that's a house computer probably.
Uh-huh.
From the web browser
Mhm.
Netgear setup, he can tell you just about how old it is.
Yeah.
It's
It's crazy what's available.
well, and it's, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm glad if somebody comes to me and says, hey, this can be hacked this way.
Mhm.
Let me show you. Okay, let me take you down to our tech guys and
Mhm.
show them.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing I did with kids when I was in the middle school. It was like, okay, how'd you do it? You're going to get a consequence for doing it if you did it.
Mhm.
Fix it.
Now how do we fix it?
Yeah.
And that was always part of the punishment, was showing me how you did it. And so and if I couldn't explain it
Mhm.
to the tech guys, you're not showing me, you're showing the tech guys, so they can come in and look and say,
Oh, yeah. And kids are pretty smart and
Well,
very tech savvy.
I had one who got all the way through his explanation, and the tech guy looked at him and said, you're lying, you didn't do that. And he went, I did this. And it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, good.
Well, they speak the language. They
Yeah.
know. They know exactly.
He knew the kid was manipulating and was trying to protect his
Mhm.
back door into the system.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
he very simply, classic, he very simply finally said, and finally fessed up, he'd stood over the teacher pretending to ask her question, and she had to log onto her computer to answer the question. And he just watched her keystrokes enough days that he figured out what she was doing. He saw enough of the keystrokes to know that it was her son's name and probably his birth date.
Mhm.
And
Put it together, accessed it, and
You guys fixed it though, that's good, or at least shut it down.
oh, that was it. Yeah,
That's the plus. That's
we shut down the directory the day after.
great.
The day after, or the day after, within 2 days, because we had to determine, are they telling us the truth? Is that truthful? Is it really?
No, you never know.
What's going on here? How was that access?
Mhm.
And then it was like, okay, that could be a possibility. So that was shut down. And then when we figured out that somebody was hitting IC addresses, that was shut down.
Until we can get it fixed.
And now we will probably earn the ire of every student in this district by pushing an automatic password change.
Mhm.
And every parent as well.
And a hard
Sorry.
password too.
I don't even.
Well, your wife.
Yeah.
I
I would say I don't access IC. I'm like, I either tell my kids, hey, pull up your IC right now, or I'd say, hey, what's going on with kids is whatever,
Yeah.
and she'll send me, she'll let me know. I'm like, I don't do all that
I
stuff.
heard the term infinite campus.
Yeah.
All I know about it.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like my limited experience with Infinite Campus is like, you really can't do much.
Well, and that's the good part about this, and what we put out in communication to parents after that is they could see things.
What are they going to do,
but they
email
could
the
not
teacher?
they could see things, and they may well have seen grades, and they could have seen shot records.
Oh,
so
that's on there?
Yeah, they're shot records.
Okay.
And that was put there because parents had asked for it. Some parents had said, hey, we'd like that, as a parent, you're sending your kiddo to a camp or something like that, you print up your shot record. Here you go, the school keeps a track of it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
so there's a pediatrician.
Yeah, so that was,
yeah.
But
that's a way for them to get instant access to it online and print it out and provide
but
it.
I'm not sure, other than knowing that someone doesn't take the measles, mumps, rubella shot, what that is.
Well, that can create a whole different issue too.
That's a whole HIPAA violation.
Yeah,
That's
well,
a federal. Could be.
It's something else.
Share it.
Well, sharing it, and it has to do with electronic billing and things like that.
Yeah.
We have people that have to be HIPAA compliant, and
Yeah.
so. I mean, I'm sure you guys went through your paces to make sure you were allowed to put the shot records on IC and stuff like that.
We went through the paces on that.
Right.
And actually, we're superseded HIPAA by FERPA. So the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act supersedes that for us.
Okay.
Because it precedes HIPAA.
Okay.
So as part of their student record, and actually FERPA is more strict than HIPAA.
Mm-hmm.
So the more strict, the tighter rules apply. In this case, and this is something that our attorneys and I have debated endlessly, is in this case, we didn't allow it out. If I give you a student's record without due cause and say, here, you want to know where his record is, here you go, here's Greg's 9th grade record,
You're
that would be wrong.
It by not giving it out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The question is he violating it or anybody violating it by access?
I am violating it by giving it out.
If you were to give it out
if he did not have due cause
right.
to do it. In this case, I'm reporting a crime or a possibility or a suspicion or
what you perceive as a crime, it definitely warrants a further investigation.
Yeah. So that in that case, actually very interesting for law enforcement guys is I was in a meeting with the Family Policy Compliance Office, and there was a northern sheriff's department that used the school's system to access addresses and names and numbers because the school had the best system and they had more updated computers.
549.
549 is going to be on Highway 105 at Jackson Creek Parkway. A dark-colored sedan blocking traffic. Party is going to be early 50s, white male. Last seen wearing a Colorado sweater and a hoodie, unknown further.
49 copy. No worries.
But, that was, that was interesting because she said, oh, that's a major violation.
So were they not allowed to access it then?
Yeah. She said law enforcement accessing a school's records for law enforcement purposes. And the guy said, well, yeah, they got the best computer system in the county. And she went, and that's a violation of federal law. And she said, I'm not going to take that out of this room. You just need to go fix it.
Yeah. Right.
And the sheriff of the county went, well, I have to ask.
Yeah, no,
sorry. You asked. And
All right.
I found the answer.
Cool.
All right, sir.
Got your hair.
Appreciate it.
Let you see
Go
you.
have fun.
Enjoy your summer break. Do you even get a summer break?
Not really.
Not really. I didn't think so. Administrators usually see.
Yes, you as well.
Nope.
Not.
Take care of yourself.
And I will follow up with Denny also.
All right, thank
next
you.
week. No problem.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Jenny, have fun summer.
Oh, I will. I will. They do. I give her a hard time about that, too.
Yeah, I know. My wife told over the story, but that's not a word. She said, but I don't get paid.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, good deal.
This one could actually turn into something really nasty.
Is it connected
Right.
I know those people they were talking about.
Oh, okay.
I know thousands of people. I mean, there was
Right.
literally, there was 3,300 people from the Tri-Lakes community
Mhm.
that got involved against the methadone.
Right.
There's some weird people.
Oh yeah. You're telling me. It's open.
Just as you like to represent all people.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter. Everyone has a job to do, so, you know. East of Jackson.
So what are the majority of the calls you get? A lot of traffic, things like this?
The biggest thing is property crimes.
Right.
You know, whether it's a theft or, you know, what we call a criminal trespass, or someone getting their car broken into, or fraud stuff. People's information gets compromised all the time. It gets compromised all the time online, and then they call to report it. And you know, a crime like that, or any banking type of crime, can be handled in 3 different jurisdictions. It's where they live, where they bank, or where the crime actually occurred. Like, let's say you're... Go ahead.
Parker for 9550. I'm close to the hazard. Just want me to take it real quick so you can finish out that fraud.
I'm finished on the fraud. I can handle the hazard.
Copy.
1633. Or where the checks were passed, or wherever things were used. So you know, it helps the victim be able to report it. So they'll report all the time, even though most of the time they get reimbursed by the bank. You know, because virtually all banks and credit institutions have zero liability protection. So, but sometimes you get good ones. Sometimes you get ones that are workable. Sometimes you have nothing to go off of. You know.
I'm sure those are the difficult ones, where you feel bad, or something like that.
You know,
you can do about it.
This poor kid that worked at 7-Eleven, for example, lost his job over it because, you know, it's like he end up getting scammed, and these guys that call in, they sweet talk, and they think they know the procedure and the process, and they basically say, we need to update your point of sale system, blah blah blah, you need to do this. And so he ended up activating 2 prepaid visas. You know, and of course he tells me it's like, you know, I think he did like $1,400. You know, he activated, and someone got the numbers and everything like that. So literally, as soon as they get them, they get spent, and they get spent somewhere on the East Coast, and they come back to a bogus number. You know, because you could hide your phone number or create it, and make it show up something else. And there's really nothing we could do about it. Like, I can't. But like, what am I supposed to do if I have no access?
1635.